What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Whitetail rut of 2023 is kicking off here in the South, and one of my biggest things about hunting is if I ever get cold, I am miserable and I just want to go home. So call me a baby if you want, but there's ways that you can battle that. So we're going to open up what I got in the mail today. I'm going to show you guys how this right here is going to keep me in the tree longer. So I've actually got some electric hand warmers and some electric insoles for my boots. And so that kind of helps me out keeping my hands and feet warm. But one of my biggest things is my core. You know, I never can figure this layering thing out. Either I'm too hot, too cold. I can't find that middle ground. So I've been eyeballing one of these things for a pretty good while. This is a heated vest by KemiMoto, and some of you may have already heard of KemiMoto. They are big in the side-by-side, ATV, motorcycle, and boat industry with, like, you know, accessories and stuff like that. But now they have a full line. They have a vest, a jacket. I think they have heated gloves. They have a hand warming muff, and there may be some other stuff that I'm missing there, but see what we got here. So we've got the vest itself. We've got another little box here. Looks like a battery pack and a cord. So we'll leave that in there for a second. And a user guide. So right off the bat, this is a lot lighter than I was expecting. I just knew it was going to be super heavy and you know, wouldn't allow me to continue to layer my clothing. It even comes with a little compass there. You can actually remove that if you want to. Cool little addition. So it has got a really soft fleece lining. We've got a pocket, one on each side, you know, a hand pocket. We've also got a breast pocket on your right side, and there is an internal pocket on your left side, and this would be where you would put your battery pack. So inside of this pocket is a cable, and what this cable is going to do is hook directly up to your power bank that comes with it. This is a 15,000 milliamp hour battery, so this should last you a really good while. Just push your power button to check your level of your battery, and it shows 25, 50, 75, and 100% here. It does have a regular USB-A for power out, so you can charge your phone or anything that will take a USB charge. And it takes a USB Type-C to charge your battery pack. So that is really good. You can get some fast charging there. The user guide says that it'll take about 5 to 6 hours to fully charge from fully discharged. So during normal operation, what you would do is you would plug your cable into your battery pack, and then you could stick it into your pocket here, zip it up, and then you would select your modes through your little button here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. So this thing feels really good. It fits really well. It's not too tight. It's not too baggy. I could definitely put an outer layer jacket over this. I was also worried that the outside would be really, really noisy, but it's not as bad once you get it on. You know, if you scratch it with your fingernails or something like that, it's a little bit loud. But again, if you've got an outer layer on, you know, it's going to be all covered up anyway. I also was worried about the battery pack. Yes, I can feel the battery pack here, but it's really not in the way. Even when I stick my hand in my pocket, you know, it doesn't take up any room in this pocket over here, so that's great. Just this vest alone is actually really warm. I just got here to camp, and it's about 50 degrees outside, and I have not turned the heater on, and it's actually a little bit cooler in here, but just with this vest on, I'm actually really warm, so I'm excited to see how this thing is going to do in the field. So this battery pack is pretty much completely dead whenever I got it. We are going to put this on the charger and try to see how long it takes to charge. I'm probably not going to get a very accurate reading because I'm going to kind of be in and out. So we're going to give this a real world test tomorrow and see how she does. All right, guys, so I've got my vest all charged up and I've got it attached to my backpack, and I get a little heated up when I'm walking in, so I'm not going to wear it in. So when I get up in the tree, it's right about 58 right now. Just before dark, it should be about 40 degrees. We're doing a little bit of urban hunting today, so my house is about 200 yards that way, and my property runs about 700 yards that way, but we're only going to go about 250 yards back, so I'm excited to see how this vest works out. I can't stand getting cold, so let's head on in and see what she can do. So I've been up in the tree for a couple of hours now, and it started to cool off a lot. So I went ahead and put the vest on, and the only thing I've got up under it is this thin merino t-shirt. Right away I noticed that even though this vest is relatively thin, it was really, really warm right off the bat. Okay, so it's gotten even later, and it's to the point that I need to turn the vest on for some extra warmth. So I'm going to show you now how to plug it up and turn everything on. Now I know that sounded loud, but it really isn't that loud up here. So inside the jacket on the left-hand side, there is a zipper pocket. In that zipper pocket, you can store your battery pack. Now, this has been charging all night, so I can push this button on the side, and it can tell me the battery level is at 100%. So, there is a port right here, and then there is a cable inside the jacket, and then you're going to plug it up here, and then stick it back in the pocket. Zip your jacket back up. Now you'll notice that this is lit up red. Now this is going to show you that as soon as you plug it in, all zones are on high. So you can adjust each zone individually. Red is high, blue is medium, green is low, and you can control each zone individually. Now, the top zone is my neck, the right zone is my front, and the left zone is the back. Now, if you want this light to go off, you can press the center button and it'll turn those lights off. And if you can't remember what settings you had it on, all you have to do is push the center button. It'll show you what it is. Say I need more heat in my back. I turn the back on high. I'm going to turn my neck on high. So I'm going to turn each zone on high right now and see how fast it warms up. Wow, just a few seconds later I can already feel the heat just piling up on my back and my neck. I can feel it on the front too, but it's really prominent in the back. Feels really good. It is really, really warm. Another thing I really like is this breast pocket. A lot of times whenever you get a vest or a jacket and it has a breast pocket, it's really not that deep. So when I'm hunting, I like to keep my cell phone at hand's reach. That way if something happens, I can call 911 or a family member. So this vest has a really deep breast pocket. As you can see, my phone is inside of it long ways. This is an iPhone 13 Pro Max, so it's pretty big. I can just slide it in there. Don't have to worry about it going anywhere. My back is extra toasty right now. so after a chance to sit a full hunt with this heated vest, I wanted to give my final thoughts. But before we get into pros and cons, I wanted to talk a little bit about battery life based on what I experienced. During my test, I used it on about a 4.5 hour evening hunt, and power usage overall was probably about 2.5 hours, most of which was on high, but after the hunt was over, I still had about 50% battery left. I would have to use this several more times to see if you could get the claimed 8 hours of battery life on low, but if I had to speculate, I would say that you would get roughly 4 hours on high. I do think though, with proper layering, that the low setting should be plenty enough to keep you warm through just about any temperature. So now let's move on to the pros and cons. So for the pros, I love the pocket space. There's 2 outer pockets here that are zippered. There's also a breast pocket here, which is deep enough to hold your cell phone long ways. And there's also the battery pocket on the inside here, which is zippered, which you could also put something else in too. So you should have plenty of room to store just about any small item that you need to while using this vest. So another pro is going to be the soft shell and the fleece lining. The soft shell is going to provide heat retention, wind resistance, maybe even a little bit of water resistance, and the fleece lining is just going to keep you warm, you know, even without the heated elements on. In my opinion, this thing fits true to size. I wear an XL. This is an XL and it fits really good. It's not too tight, it's not too baggy. You know, it fits well around the arms here, around the neck, and around the waist. There is tensioning pulls here that you can tighten it up around the waist to, you know, kind of bring it to your body, hold in some more of that heat. So in my opinion, the fit is great. So another big pro to me is being able to control each zone independently. This allows you to really dial in where you need the heat the most without overheating the other areas. So another pro for me is the ability to turn off this indicator light here whenever you want. You know, in a hunting situation, especially in low light, if this indicator light was to stay on all the time, you know, game would be able to pick you off 100 yards away. So really good feature. So this vest has a 12 volt power supply, which is much greater than, you know, any of the other garments on the market. And what this allows us to do is these heating elements heat up almost instantaneously. So as soon as you plug it in, you start feeling heat almost right away. Another thing I like about it is the fact that you can barely even tell that these heating elements are here. I mean, other garments that I've tried, they are really bulky. You can feel the wires all over the place and it's just kind of clunky. So it's almost like you're wearing just a regular old vest. So another big plus for a hunter is this vest is washable. So pull your power supply out, tuck your cord inside, zip it up, wash it in your favorite scent killing detergent. You're good to hit the woods again. If it wasn't washable, being a hunting garment, that would probably be a deal breaker for me. So big plus. And lastly, the price is very reasonable. Coming in at about $90, that's about half of what my cheapest outer layer cost. So the price is definitely a plus. All right, so now for the cons, and I'll start with the big one first. Now, I must say that the 12 volt feature is definitely a plus, but it's also a con at the same time. So what this means is the plug is proprietary, which means that you can only use their power pack to power this vest. So if I was on a 3-day hunt, I would have a dead battery pack on day 1. Now I do have other battery packs that I could piggyback charge with, but it would be much nicer if this was USB-C and I could use any other PD power bank. So this is able to be worked around, so it's not, you know, a deal breaker, but it is a con. Now the only other con that I have is the on-off function. To my knowledge, there isn't one. So what this means is when you plug it in, it's on and it will not turn off until you either unplug it or the battery is dead. I would like to see an on-off function on this keypad here. This would definitely allow you to conserve a lot of battery. For example, if you get cold, you can turn it on, warm up, and then turn it back off instead of having to unzip the jacket, unzip the pocket, unplug it, zip your jacket back up. It's just a lot of movement when you're in the tree. Like I said before, this vest holds heat really well, so short bursts of heat could go a really long way. So my final consensus, if I knew everything that I know now before I purchased this vest, would I still buy it, and would I recommend it to my friends? And the answer is yes, absolutely. I am extremely happy with this vest. It is extremely practical without being overly gadgety. I mean, it's a vest, it's packable, and if it gets too cold out, turn it on and it heats you up like a pig in a blanket. Where can you go wrong with that, right? Go check out this vest along with their rather large selection of other products at KemiMoto.com or at Amazon. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time in Rob's Man Cave.